Cannot hear you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, not able to hear me.
Oh, I thought I am not able to hear. Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I couldn't hear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, I cannot.
I don't think anybody can hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hari Bol, Prabhuji, cannot hear you.
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I had my phone setup changed from headphone to laptop speaker. Okay, happens, so many back and forth I do, and sometimes I forget to put it back. That's very common.
Yes, Prabhuji, no problem.
I'll share the screen here. You cannot hear it still?
Yes, Prabhuji, can hear you and also can see the presentation.
You can hear now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Mata, you cannot hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you, but looks like you can't hear us.
No, I'm hearing everybody.
Okay, okay, good, good. Okay.
I'm hearing everybody.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. He can hear you and see you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Now we cannot see the presentation.
It should be now there on the screen.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat Nistapradeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namastute Tapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Purnamami Haripriye Vanchkalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare जय जय श्री 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 राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय 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 श्री अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य ही डिवाइन श्री प्रभुपाद की जय सिंबल भक्त वृंद की जय नित्य गौरा प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल की जय Chapter 12 Birth of Emperor Parikshit. So in this chapter we are going through how Parikshit Maharaj came to this material world. So we have gone through, I think, verse number 9, where Parikshit Maharaj had darshan of Krishna, and how he counteracted the Brahmastra that was thrown by Ashwatthama. So then from verse number 12, there are ceremonies happening for Parikshit Maharaj's birth. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj was very curious, which most of the parents are, right? How this son is going to look like, how the son will be, what are the quality he is going to have, especially somebody taking birth in the Yudhishthira Maharaj dynasty, for sure, there will be some questions, right? All the parents have questions too, like we ask, what will happen to my sons and daughters? Are they going to be devotee or not? If you all want, I can give a separate presentation that is split from here. That what is the chance that our sons and daughter will be devotee? So very similar concern. The practical application of that part is that sometimes we also have the same degree of curiosity. What's going to happen to my sons and daughter? Are they going to be devotee or not? Who they are? So similar concern Yudhishthira Maharaj had, that what are the quality of this child? And then it was predicted that how Parikshit Maharaj is going to be cursed, and then I will be meeting with Sukadeva Goswami. And then the last few verses talks about how Yudhishthira Maharaj managed to do Ashwamedha Yagya. So that's the discussion of this chapter. What I would like to do is that mostly read the translation so that we can understand the context, and we'll finish with this chapter. I'll discuss as we get into the discussions, or as I find something suitable to share, I'll share. So Parikshit Maharaj, pastimes, quality of Yudhishthira Maharaj, his opulences, his detachment, all of that we have gone through. Then Parikshit Maharaj had darshan of Supreme Lord, Angushtah Matram Amalam, Ashpurat Purat Molinam, Apivaya Darshanam Swayamam Tadid Vasham Achyutam. Vasham means dress. He was dressed up like lightning. So his dhoti is compared, with lightning. And Parikshit Maharaj had darshan. So we discussed that this size that is mentioned here, the size that is mentioned here, only thumb high. So only thumb high size Krishna has taken to enter into the womb of Mother Uttara, but Parikshit Maharaj had full experience. He had full darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how to understand that? So maybe in a painter, when he or she does the painting height might be thumb high, but the painting will be painter of a fully grown up person. So achintya ved tattva, right? We have to always consider the achintya part of any pastime that Krishna is doing. Although, so there are two important things to be noted. The first one is that Krishna entered the womb and his height was thumb height, but he had full darshan. Parikshit Maharaj had full darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. And second point that our acharyas are mentioning, that at that time Parikshit Maharaj had not grown up with his gross eyes. Subtle body was there, for sure. Subtle body is the cause of samsara, but gross body was not fully developed. That means his eyes was also not fully developed. But Krishna empowered him to have darshan. So through his subtle existence, Krishna empowered Parikshit Maharaj to have full darshan, full experience of Spirit Personality of Godhead. And that's why his name was Parikshit, because Pariksha means examination. So when he came out, he was saying, is this person Krishna? Is that person Krishna? Is he Krishna? That experience he was always looking for. That's how he's known as Parikshit Maharaj, the one who examines. And what was his examination? He was trying to see if the person who is next to him is Krishna. Oh, that experience. We also talked about Narad Muni, that he also had glimpse of Krishna. Krishna came and very quickly disappeared. That you have to perfect your bhakti. Unless and until one is not perfected, one cannot have my full darshan. And then Lord said that this darshan that you had will make you hanker to have more darshan of me. And that's how we will engage in devotional service. They are fortunate personality. We do not have that type of experience, but we have similar experience. Similar experience we have. And how we see that experience through our behavior, through our humility, through our how people are perceiving you or I, whatever perceive, people perceive you or I based upon the knowledge that they have, based upon information they have. The way Vaishnav acts, the way Brahmin acts, Sudra is hard for Sudra to understand. But at that status, they will tell, that this person is this person is that. So don't, be so quick in understanding somebody's approach. You know, always look at ourselves and say that, it's my incompetency that I'm not able to understand the mood and expression of that person. We don't see material dealings. So Narad Muni is perfect example of all of this. And later, Parikshit Maharaj is also going to be one of the perfect example. And that discussion will come here in the later part. So this chapter has a lot of practical understanding, practical aspect of learning that one can take and apply in their personal life. So you can see here the verses 10 and 11 talks about how soothing was presence of Supreme Lord. All the scorching, burning heat that was coming from Brahmastra, that was completely vanquished as rain. When it rains, it cool down. So those are some of the examples. So devotee, please go ahead and read through the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Let's start from here, from verse number 12. So let's just read the translation. Somebody can just read the translation only to understand what's going on. Thereupon. Okay, Gopal Prabhu, you can read. I can see you are setting something.
Yeah, I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Thereupon, when all good signs of zodiac gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in proneness, took birth. King Yudhishthira, who was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas, headed by Daumya and Krupa, recited auspicious hymns. Upon the birth of a son, the king, who knew how, where, and when the clarity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food grains to the Brahmanas. The learned Brahmanas, who were very satisfied with the charities of the king, addressed him as the chief amongst the Purus and informed him that his son was certainly in the line of descent from the Purus.
So all the Brahmanas are confirming here after they receive all that chariots on the birth of not the chariot but charity on the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, and then they are predicting that this person is going to be chief among the Puru. So Koro are in the Puru dynasty. So he is going to be chief among the Puru dynasty. That's how all these Brahmins are predicting about Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, let's move on.
The Brahmana said, "This spotless son has been restored by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, the personality of the Godhead, in order to oblige you. In order to oblige you, he was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by the irresistible supernatural weapon. For this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities."
So Brahmanas are predicting, and this child will be first class devotee. He was saved by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wow. Yes, Prabhuji.
The good king,
Continue.
the good king Yudhishthira inquired, "O great souls, will he become a saintly a king, as pious in his very name, and as famous and glorified in his achievements as others who appeared in this great royal family?"
See here, Rishi Maharaj is inquiring now. O great souls, talking to Brahmanas, will he become a saintly king? That's the very common, question parents have. I have taken devotional service. Will my sons and daughters are going to take it? So please read the purport of Yadavabad for this verse. Continue, Prabhu. So in question or against to the inquiry of Maharaj Yudhishthir, he's asking about, O great soul, will he become as saintly as other kings of our dynasty? There are answers given. So Parikshit Maharaj's quality has been compared with all the great personalities. So what are the comparison that is being done here? Let's see. Yes, Prabhu, just read the comparison made to
Okay. Um, Ikshwaku, he was made compared to
son of man,
son
son
of
of man.
Vishnu, and Lord Rama, King Sibi of the Usinara country, King Sibi of Usinara country, Bharata, son of uh, Dushyanta, Bowman Arjuna, irresistible fire, unsurpassable ocean, strong a lion, worthy of shelter like Himalaya mountains, forbearing like earth, tolerant like parents.
See, so these are the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj is mentioned here. Among the mankind, the word is being is Ikshvakur iva manavaha. Among the category of mankind. Ruler, the person who gives the rules and regulations to function this mankind, this kind and human society. Among them, he is going to be like Maharaj Ikshvaku. And among the Purushottama, Ramo Dasarathir Yatha. Satya Sadhasya Ramo Dasarathir Sadha. Truthfulness, Satya Sadhaka, the person who is truthful. He will be like Lord Ramchandra. And Esa Data Saranyasya. Data Saranyas. When somebody comes to you taking shelter, we have to give the shelter. So in that category, someone who gives shelter is going to be like King CB. And in later canto, the story of Maharaj King CB comes that he chopped his body to protect. I don't know what's going on today with my throat. To save the life of a bird. who has taken the shelter of Maharaj King Sivi. And then Yashyo Bitanita Panam Dushyantar Iva Yajvanam. So Yasho means glories. Bitanita, detachment. So his glories will be like son of Dushyanta, Bharat Maharaj. And as a bowman, Tulyas cha Arjunayor, he is going to be like Arjun. Agre Agra Aniresha Kutasta eva Durdarshaha. So among the irresistible, he is going to be like Agni, Agre Aniresha, Tulyas cha Arjunayor. He is going to be like fire. And Durdarshaha, something that cannot be crossed easily, unsurpassable, is going to be like ocean. Mrigendra eva Vikranto. Mrigendra here it refers to lion. So in strength, he is going to be like lion. Nisevayo. Himavan eva. Himavan. He refers to mountain. So when somebody comes and take his shelter, in that category, he is going to be like Himalaya. Titikshur. Vasu. Vasudev. Vasudev here refers to Vasu. Vasu. Earth. Earth also is done at Vasu, Vasu Puja. Worship of Mother Earth. So in forbearing, Titiksha is going to be like earth. People are walking, people are making, holes, planting tree, cutting, spitting, disposing their remnants and all of that. With all of that, Trinadapi Shunichena Tarureva Sahishuna Amaniya Mandena Kirtaniya Sadahari, as we know. So he will be Titikshao, tolerant, like forbearing, like earth. And Sahishnuhu Pitravah Eva. Parents are compared here of being very tolerant. And I can see, when mothers have babies, oh my gosh, they are so tolerant. Kids are basically kicking, doing, whatever they want to do. And just watching them, I get upset. Why you are letting the baby do like that? And my wife, Karunanidhi, she is extremely motherly, as I know her. She would never have any problem, even today. I have problems sometimes. I say that why he is doing like that, why she is doing like that, they should do like that. She'll say it's okay. She'll find some reason to justify. So, yes, parents are very tolerant. So, now this quality of Parikshit Maharaj is compared here. And let's continue, Prabhuji.
Okay. Equanimity of mind as of Brahma or Yudhishthira, munificent as Lord Shiva, resort of everyone as Lord Narayana, by following in his footsteps as Lord Krishna, in magnanimity as King Rantideva, in religion as Maharaj Yayati, in patience as Bali Maharaj, devotee of Krishna as Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes, so you can stop here. So see, all of this comparison that is made. Wow, how powerful was Parikshit Maharaj. Pitamaha Samaha Samaye. Pitamaha, if you look at Amar Kosha, Lord Brahma's has multiple names, Aja, Vibhu, all of that. And one of his name is Pitamaha. Pitamaha is also Vishpitamaha. Here Pitamaha refers to Lord Brahma. So Samaya, Samaha, Samaye. Samaha means equanimity. So he is going to be like Lord Brahma, or here it's referred to his Pitamaha, who is Yudhishthira Maharaj too. And then he'll be as beneficent as Lord Shiva. Yatho Devo Ramashraya, result of everyone, like Lord Narayan, everyone will take shelter. Sarva Sadguna Mahatmaya Esa Krishna Manuvartaha. Sarva Sadgun. Sarva means all. Sadgun means good qualities. Mahatmaya means as a great person. Anuvartaha. He'll be following the footstep of Sarva Sadgun. Mahatmaya. Esa, like Krishnam, Lord Sri Krishna. Sarva Sadguna Mahatmaya. Esa Krishnam Anuvartaha. So, see, powerful personality. So all of these comparisons are made here, and you can read through the verses. But it's very important to know how powerful personality was Parikshit Maharaj. Yes, Prabhuji, please continue. This child will be the father of kings.
Uh, this child will be father of kings, who will be like sages. For world peace and for the sake of religion, he will be chastiser of the upstarts and the quarrelsome.
Mm. We'll
After
read that part later. How he chastised Kali Yuga, Kali personified. It will come. Prabhuji, continue.
After hearing about his death, which will be caused by the bite of a snake bird sent by a son of a Brahmana, he will get himself freed from all material attachments and surrender onto the personality of the Godhead, taking shelter of him.
That's the whole context of Bhagavatam, right? And these Brahminas, they predicted it. I don't know. I mean, how accurate were their predictions? They exactly told what's going to happen with this baby at the later age. So he'll be bitten by snake. Because he'll be given the curse. So Sringi Rishi, son of Samaika, will be cursing him. So that's also predicted. Wow. Nice prediction. That's in the mother, you want to share something or just
Yeah, I
accident?
was just thinking, looking at the great qualities that Maharaj Parikshit have,
Yeah.
and it's unbelievable, it's unimaginable, and cannot even think like what great qualities he have. He's munificent like Lord Shiva, and resort like Lord Narayana, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and following his footsteps like Lord Krishna. I mean, so many magnanimity in religion, in patience, and every single thing, right? Every and
Great personality. That's why we are reading
yeah,
his pastime. Right.
very great personality, and his
He had darshan of
his,
Krishna himself already. Wow.
yes, and his and the Brahmanas are predicting that he will be bitten by a snake bird later, and he'll get himself freed from all material attachment and surrender unto the personality of Godhead. I mean, like to me, he looks like he's already perfected soul. He's already
He is.
freed from material attachment, and he's already surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he was trying to look for Lord Krishna in everyone, like you mentioned before. He's examining everyone. And so the last statement, it's a little bit confusing to me why they are saying that here, because it seems like he's already a perfected soul.
Yeah, so perfected soul, he will continue the process.
Mm.
Continue the process. When death time comes, right? People will be very afraid, and they'll say, what are the items on my bucket list that I haven't completed, right? Let me get it done. But he completely got detached from his kingdom and how to rule and all of that. No, time has come now. And then he focused on inherent quality of himself. He is a Raj Rishi. So Raj Rishi means he was a king, but at the same time he was a Rishi. What is the difference between Raj Rishi and Rishi? Is that the Rishi are the one who are living in forest and meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Raj Rishis are living in a society, working as a king and meditating on the feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, right?
Right.
So, so that's what Prabhupada, expected, that devotees who are engaged in devotional service, they should also be serving, serving their dependent, serving their. Prabhupada said everybody in Krishna consciousness is leader. Have you heard that statement? In the society you live, you be example. In a family you live, you be example. Temple that you belong to, be example. That's how everyone is leader. So Parikshit Maharaj was rishi. He never ever forgot Krishna. He always remember Krishna. When last moment came, he just focused on that. That okay, time has come now, and there is nothing remaining for me. This is just setting up example. Yadadachati sreshto. Whatever way a sreshta Mahajano gate se pantha. The Mahajan acts. That is the path for ordinary person. So Parikshit Maharaj, it's not like that Parikshit Maharaj is not a devotee, and then when he was cursed by Sringi Rishi, he became devotee. No, he always has been devotee. And that's was one of the question is being asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj. Is he going to be saintly king? Means Raj Rishi. Is he going to be Raj Rishi? And Brahmanas are saying, oh, he is going to be He's going to be this, 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 he's going to be that. And not only that, but when he will be cursed to die in 7 days, even at that time, he will leave everything. So detachment and material attachment should be emphasized a little bit more. He will renounce everything and he will focus at the feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, Mataji. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I think the question was he materially attached?
I think
Therefore, he had to get.
I got the gist of it, Prabhuji, meaning like he remained the same as he was. He was never attached to anything
No,
when
never.
he
Raj
started
Rishi,
existing,
that's right.
and he
So
was
answer
the
was
same
given,
when
Prabhu.
he remained the same even when he was bitten by a snake. It
Yeah,
didn't really matter to him whether he had this or that.
exactly. The word Raj Rishi, when I used it, I answered that question. He was never like ordinary king. He was king, and I gave the example of devotees. That Prabhupada said that we have to be leader, means we are not attaching with our family, we are not attaching, we are just taking everything as a service, and we are taking and acting on that as service without getting attached for name, fame, quality, or anavilasita sunyam gyan karmadya navritam. So these are some of the, and that's why here is the thing, another thing is that as we are learning this shastra, I will be assuming that you have the background, like when sometimes we answer somebody's questions, I'm not going to, go through everything that we have studied nectar of devotion or nectar of instruction, but there is assumption that that's in their mind, that's in your mind, you have that background. So I'll just say that, okay, here is what happening. And then you pull all that background behind. We don't have to be so specific about trying to, every time explain things, in a way that takes too long time. So Raj Rishi, Prabhupada has given a lot of emphasis, and you will hear that. Who are the Raj Rishi? Raj Rishis are, Rishi. They are rishi. Maharaj Janak is one of the Mahajan. Did Maharaj Janak went to forest? Mataji, tell me yes or no.
No, Prabhuji,
Yeah,
he was
king.
ruling. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not, he's not as Mahajan, because as a king he ruled his citizens and set up the example. Parikshit Maharaj is also one of the Mahajan, right? So why he's Mahajan? Mahajanos Janagate se Panta. Why he's Mahajan? Because he acted as an example, as a king, and he was never attached to the prestige, the power that was coming to him. Rather, he just served. And when time came, he said, "My service is over now. Thank you. Let me, focus on Krishna consciousness." So he continued that.
Yeah, it seems like he was always Krishna conscious, but
Always, always, always. Parikshit means the one who examines for Krishna.
it
Yes,
just
always.
became important. Like we are um, living in this world, it becomes important for us to follow our swadharma in the light of paradharma. Just like that, he was also ruling the country based on his dharma for the body and in the light of in the light of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
So
So,
he didn't do anything different even while leaving the body, because he knew that he's going to die and everything needs to be done before he passes away from this world. He has to give away his country to his son, I mean the kingdom to his son.
mhm,
Towards the last minutes, this is the best thing to do completely, because he's done with all the other things that he had it to do.
mm, perfect. Yes. Yeah, he never ever left bhakti. And that's, when there are uh, four stages that we have talked about. The first stage is Visaya Asakti, right? And then second stage is uh, balancing both. Then third one is Yukt Vairagya, and fourth one is spontaneous devotion. So he was on the higher stage. You know, he was either living completely Yukt Vairagya. What is Yukt Vairagya? Means detachment up to the extent that is not going to be hindrance on the process of bhakti. But he had a spontaneous love for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Parikshit Maharaj was on the higher category. He was not Visayasakt, or he was not dovetailing. There are four stages in devotional service. The first one is Vishayasakt, the person who is fully bounded, attached with the resources and opulences that Krishna has provided. And second one is dovetailing, where one is utilizing the resources for purpose of Krishna consciousness, but still the person has some degree of attachment. So they are doing things based upon the attachment that they have, but it is doing in form of jagya or charity or something higher. And Yukt Vairagya is fully adjusting. In Yukt Vairagya state, person is acting for Krishna, but still that person has some social, some normal day-to-day responsibility. And fourth one is spontaneous, Raga Anuga Bhakti or Raga Bhakti, where now everything is being done for the pleasure of Krishna only. Anything that we do, we are doing for the pleasure of Krishna. An example is Six Goswami, Sri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhattas Raghunath. They did not do anything that has any personal attachment. So these are the stages.
Yes, Prabhuji. So whether they were Goswamis or whether he was Parikshit Maharaj or Janak Maharaj, they were all spontaneous.
Mm.
Whether they
So
must be doing something different from each other. They were all
yeah,
spontaneous lovers of love.
exactly, exactly. But as a king, he had to do some adjustment also. So some part of that was Yukt Baraga too. Yukt Baraga is basically detachment that is needed to act in a certain role. But you are still detached, but you have some weight to carry. So yes, so six Goswamis definitely they are the latest example, but other rishis, they were fully renounced and living in the forest. So Parikshit Maharaj was in that category. Thank you. Continue Prabhu reading. After inquiry.
After inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vyasadeva, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness.
Continue.
The,
Good.
thus, those who are who were expert in astrological knowledge and in performance of the birth ceremony, instructed by King Yudhishthira about the future history of his child. Then, being sumptuously remunerated, they all returned to their respective homes. So, his son would become famous in the world as Parikshit, examiner, because he would come to examine all human beings in his search after that personality whom he saw before his birth.
Mm.
Thus, he would come to constantly contemplate him. As the moon in its waxing fortnight develops day after day, so the royal prince Parikshit very soon developed luxuriant, luxur,
Luxuriantly.
luxuriantly under the care and the full facilities of his guardian grandfathers.
Mm.
Just at the time, King Yudhishthira was considering performing a horse sacrifice to get freed from the sins incurred from fighting with kingsmen. But he became anxious to get some wealth, for there were no surplus funds outside of the lines and tax collection.
So suddenly here the focus is changing now. So from verse number 31 to 32, when we shifted, now the camera is changing. So now up to verse number 38, we talked about the glories of Maharaj Parikshit, and it says that he is going to be like waxing fortnight. So what happens for the waxing fortnight? Moon is
Yeah,
displaying more and more of
more.
their brightness. So day by day, it's increasing in brightness, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So the scala, 16 phases of the moon. So here it's been said that day by day, Parikshit Maharaj's quality will be increasing. He'll be shining. His quality will increase day by day. A beautiful example. Beautiful example that our acharyas have given. As the fortnight moon develops the brightness day by day, likewise Parikshit Maharaj will develop. So here we are now shifting the focus. And then at that time, in parallel, Yudhishthir Maharaj is trying to do the Ashwamedh Yagya. And what was the purpose of doing that Yagya? Because he wanted to get rid of all the sins that has incurred due to fight that happened in battlefield of Kurukshetra. And in that fight, it was so expensive that all the treasure, all the stored wealth Hastinapur had, that was consumed. So when Maharaj Yudhishthir became the king, the source of income for his kingdom was fines and tax. Fines and tax. Those were sources of his income. So not enough money. Okay. So let's see the next one. Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Prabhu, one quick question, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
after Parikshit was born, he was examining every personality for to look for Krishna. Did he
Uh-huh.
not ever see again Krishna after he's born?
Did he not,
Encounter Krishna
when Parikshit Maharaj was born?
after Parikshit was born.
Uh-huh.
Krishna is still he's still there, and
Krishna, by the time, I mean, he had darshan of Krishna, but when Parikshit Maharaj was born, then by that time, that's why this is going to be this. That's why the focus is changing. So, uh, at the last, you will read that Krishna has departed. So Parikshit Maharaj was 10 months in the womb of his mother. Okay.
Yeah.
And during that time, in parallel, Yudhishthira Maharaj is going to do a Sumedha Yaga. And as Yagya is finished, Krishna will depart for Dwarka. So there was time that Krishna was on this planet while Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling. But before his birth, Maharaj, before his birth of Maharaj Parikshit, Krishna had left for
Oh,
Dwarka. So chapter 11 and 12 that we studied, right? In 11 we talked about him leaving the Hastinapur. In
yes,
12 we read about him getting into Dwarka, right?
yes.
So that him living into Hastinapur is also going to be concluded here. That we'll see Osanka thereafter the Lord having bade farewell to King Yudhishthira, Draupadi and other relatives started for the city of Dwarka. Okay, so this is again a storytelling, right? So we are going chapter by chapter, but some of these things are happening in parallel. So Maharaj Parikshit will take a birth and then he'll be king of Hastinapur. At that time, Krishna had left and he is ruling in Dwarka.
Okay, so basically both are there on the planet at the
Oh
same.
yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, so he might have darshan of Krishna before Krishna left the planet.
Sure, there are. I mean, I haven't come through, meet Parikshit Maharaj meeting with Krishna.
Okay,
I haven't, seen that meeting, but yes, they were in parallel.
okay, okay, bro.
When Krishna left, when Parikshit Maharaj here is, since you asked this question, Prabhuji, we'll study that in chapter 15 or 16. When when Krishna left, right?
Mhm.
Then Parikshit Maharaj, in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj, everything was prosperous. No ill activity was taking place. But as soon as Krishna departed from this material world, all the bad omen, all the bad sign started, happening. And by that, Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj is predicting that my dear Lord has, departed. And then Kali Yuga is coming and Parikshit Maharaj is dealing with it. So before that, Parikshit Maharaj has ruled for some time while Krishna was in Dwarka.
Prabhuji, one more question in that line. Sorry, I came back. I rejoined here. Some problem. Yeah, that's fast. So, Prabhuji, one more question. So when Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjuna, and Pandavas were seeing bad omen that probably Krishna is leaving the planet, and they also planned to leave, right, and hand over the kingdom to Parikshit. I was assuming like that. So,
Yeah,
so, so my question is like, when Pandavas left, is that when, is that, did they leave when the Lord left? And then Parikshit Maharaj became the king?
no, Mataji. We'll study in Srimad Bhagavatam that Parikshit Maharaj was the king. Yudhishthira Maharaj at some point gave the kingdom to Parikshit Maharaj. He wanted to make sure before he departs, everything is taken care. Parikshit Maharaj is competently serving the citizens. And we'll hear in later canto, Krishna, Arjuna even went to Dwarka to see Krishna. But Arjuna going to Dwarka is mentioned, because Yudhishthira Maharaj asked about it, that can you please go and see how Krishna is doing. So all of that is happening, but so what you are asking is that, did Parikshit Maharaj became king after Yudhishthira Maharaj departed, right?
Yes, yes.
No, no. While Yudhishthira Maharaj was still on the planet, Parikshit Maharaj became the king for some time. There was some overlap. I don't know exactly how long. We don't have that information, and I can't basically speculate. But no,
Okay, okay, Prabhuji.
Parikshit Maharaj was given the kingdom at some point. When he grown up, he became, prince. At that point, Yudhishthira Maharaj's hand. In fact, right after when Ashwamedha Yaga was completed, I believe, he gave the kingdom. I believe. I'll have to find that out. But sometimes he ruled, and then after ruling, he gave the kingdom to Parikshit Maharaj, like most of the noble father will do. Okay, I have come to this stage now. Before I depart, I want to hand over you the kingdom, like Lord Dasat did. My
Mm.
son, Lord Ram, you become the king. Dasat Maharaj would have ruled, but he said, no, my son is now, you know, young enough to be the king. Like that, at some point, that transition has happened. Because when this sign of omen, bad signs are appearing, at that time, Maharaj Parikshit was the ruler, and we'll read that. And as he was ruling, he saw in my kingdom everything was prosperous. Sonak Rishi and Sutta Goswami, they are talking that in the kingdom of Parikshit Maharaj, everything was so auspicious. And suddenly, all these bad women started happening. Why it happening? Oh, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, oh, Krishna has departed. And who is this black, cruel person who is torturing this innocent cow and bull? So it's all witnessed by Parikshit Maharaj.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's good thing, but that's the future section of the Bhagavatam. It's coming. It will come. That's what we'll do now. From now until chapter 19, we'll talk about Parikshit Maharaj, Sukdev Goswami, their meeting, Earth and Bull, all the signs of bad women and everything is going to come one after another in next series of chapters. Okay, Prabhuji. So continue this one.
Understanding the hearty wishes of the king, his brothers, as advised by the inflammable Lord Krishna, collected sufficient riches from the north, left by the king Maruta.
Yeah. So there was a king who had lot of wealth, lot of wealth. He has a lot of wealth, and he was giving the wealth in charity. So Krishna advised Yudhishthira Maharaj that if you don't have enough fund for Ashwamedha Yagya, please go and talk to this king. He will give you the wealth. So King Maruta, he gave a lot of wealth to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and then he used that money for Ashwamedha Yagya.
By those riches, the king would procure the ingredients for those 3 horse sacrifices. Thus, the pious king Yudhishthira, who was very fearful after the battle of Kurukshetra, pleased Lord Hari, the personality of the Godhead. Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of the Godhead, being invited to the sacrifices by Maharaj Yudhishthira, saw to it that they were performed by the qualified, twice born Brahmanas. After that, for the pleasure of the relatives, the Lord remained for few months. O
So
Saunaka,
Krishna, after Ashwamedha Yagya, after 3 Ashwamedha Yagya, Krishna remained there for a few months, right, in Hastinapur.
yeah.
Then he's saying, "Oh Sonaka."
O Sonaka, thereafter the Lord, having bade farewell to the king Yudhishthira, Draupadi, and other relatives, started for the city of Dwaraka, accompanied by Arjuna and other members of the Yadu dynasty.
Yeah. So we have read this past time, right? Krishna leaving Hastinapur and getting into Dwarka. Okay. So we have few minutes. Anybody has any questions? Any realization that they would like to share or anything? I have question for all of you, and I would like to hear the answer. So what is the purpose you are joining this course? Can you help me understand? I haven't asked it before, but I would like to know what exactly you are trying to get out of this course and how it's helping. Let's start from Gopal Prabhu.
Uh, I am not looking this as a course, Prabhu. I am looking like more of an understanding of what happened in the in the Bhagavatam. I'm not behind the certificate. I want to know what is there in the scripture and learn what I can, Prabhu.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Understand. Okay. What else? Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Who would like to answer this question? I would like to hear from everybody. What is the,
I
this should I should have asked in the very beginning, but
I can answer, Prabhu.
yeah.
So this way, it is a systematic study of all this Bhagavatam. So same thing we continued, what we did for the Bhakti Shastri, and this is a systematic, by sloka, and also the group is very small, and we can have interaction, and so we are clarifying so many doubts. Because, as you said, a lot of courses are there, but at the same time, there will not be any kind of interaction or anything. So this way is really we can thoroughly learn about this Bhagavatam. That much I can say. And of course, the side thing is certificate and all those things. Once exam certificates, something is there, then we will be very serious to learn the things. And so we are forced to study kind of thing. So that way, really, it is really will help me on that. That's my opinion.
No, it's very, whatever you said, each and every point that you said is good point. It's a small size, we can have discussion, we can go through verse by verse. There are many courses, people, devotees are doing, but in 6 months they will cover everything. You will get the certificate, but they still not know what is what. But here we are giving enough time. No, very good. Okay. Now, good points. Good point, both of you. Thank you. Let's hear from the Sindhu Mataji and other devotees. Why we are doing this and how it's helping you?
Prabhuji, I love Bhagavatam. I love to hear. So that was my first original reason to when you put forth the class, I wanted to join because I know that on my own probably I may not go through each and everything, and it may not be possible to be on track. I might just slip away from the thing, like maybe I'll say, okay, I'll study today and I'll study it, but maybe the next week it will be a different story. But this way, having a class helps to keep on track, and it will be more regular, and it is advised and recommended that we should be doing a regular study, and that happens through this class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Apart from all the points both the Prabhujis have covered, this is what that's how it benefits me.
Jai, thank you. Okay, who will be next?
I can go next, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhu, first of all, thank you so much for taking time from your very, very busy schedule to give us this knowledge. And I think most of the points have already been covered. As far as my personal situation is concerned, I'm not looking for a certificate either. So as long as we can get knowledge, which is required knowledge, and I think certificate will come as a secondary part. And then obviously, we have to do our part on the examinations and all that. So, but that's the main purpose. But we'd like to really thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think
Ramanan
I
Saran
would like,
Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare
You are the
Krishna,
last.
Prabhuji. I think I am the last. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, like myself again, yeah. So not on a certificate, sure. So I just wanted to hear to this stories like more and more, right? So that I can mold myself, like how I can be, right? Like do's and don'ts that we need to follow in our life. So that's the main idea, right? By hearing to these stories, like how you want to mold yourself and how you want to behave. So that's the only thing that I'm looking for. And like, yeah, as Narayan Prabhu and other devotees said, like shorter group, like we have more and more time for us to discuss and yeah, get corrected.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. The reason I asked this question because I'm going verse-wise verse, theme-wise theme, chapter by chapter. So that will take some time, and it's very important for me to understand your expectation, because if you are expecting that, oh, Prabhu, we should be rushing through it quickly. Chapter 14 talks this, 15 talks, or Canto 1 talks, this. I can have 5 slides and Canto 1 done, right? That's one way of doing it. So that's why I wanted to understand that the way we are doing, is it good enough, or we should, change the format. That's very important for me to know, so that
This
I can satisfy your need. I don't want to be going through verse wise verse and find out that it's not what you are liking. But sounds like most of you are trying to go through Bhagavatam systematically, and that my intent also. I also want to. I have done studied and gone through many times. But these things, the more we talk in association of devotee, I can tell you that I also learn a lot. And it kind of reinforces certain practice. Now I can very easily know where Krishna is talking what in the Bhagavad Gita than 5 years back. And some of those happens because of this teaching, devotees asking questions, and all of that. So that's the reason, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, by doing service, this is service, nothing more than that. People, it's not like that I'm trying to take name, fame, or something like that. It takes a lot of my time, energy to do this, and I do as a servant. I'm doing that as a service, and service to all of you. So that's my mood. But at the same time, I would also like to make sure that I am doing uh, what you all are expecting me to do, so that I can serve you better. That's the reason I ask, because this thing came in my mind, that am I doing really what devotees are asking, or am I doing what I want? And I thought, it's better to get their feedback and direction, so that we can do as per their desire. So that's why I
Prabhuji,
brought it.
sorry to interrupt, but I think we all have that intimacy with you where we can raise our hands and say, Prabhuji, we are running slow or we are going too fast. You
Okay.
know, it's not like we are going to hold it off to ourselves and never speak to you about it. That's what I think. I'm speaking for everyone, but that's definitely how I think. If I feel, I would say something in those. Um, and 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 looks like we all are like birds of the same feather flocks together.
Right. That's what it sounds like. Birds of the same feather flocks together. Exactly. Which is very good, I think. All of you said the same thing, more or less, that you all want to go through it, and that's really very good. So that tells me that the pace that we have taken, the time that we are dwelling on, is worth. It's good. And yeah, Mataji, some of the minor doubts that stays within two theme, you would never know when we just summarize the Canto 1 in 10 slide. Chapter 1 talks this, chapter 2 talks this, chapter 3 talks this. When we go verse wise verse, you get your mind is thinking, you are not even prepared to ask this question, but as we are going through, oh, Prabhu is saying this, what is that? So that gives a better learning. So that's my intent. I really think that we should go like the way we are doing, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I'm serving you all. Okay, thank you. Thank you. One more thing that I wanted to also request with all of you, that when we study verses like this, verse by verse, when we are going through, this is not so in Bhagavad Gita, this is very important, and you can also use that in your preaching. And I have studied that. That's why I'm telling you. It's not my statement. When we study and refer to verses, it's not that we are showing our knowledge. It's not like that. We are basically saying what our acharyas have said. It brings more authenticity. It brings more purity to your statement. So when you are showing something, this verse is saying that I'm saying this, this verse is saying that I'm saying this, right? When especially we are talking to the devotees like our, group here, it brings more authenticity to your discussion. And my dear devotees, it brings a lot of purity to the speaker and to the hearer. You might say, oh, it's too boring. Prabhu is only talking about the verses. It brings a lot of purity, because when we are hearing these words are acharyas, great personality words. So my vocal is coming from my, realization. When I tab into Sutta Goswami, Sanaka Rishi's statement, then it becomes very important. So that's the reason, in our preaching, we should cite one or two verses that is coming from Krishna. Krishna says, this. Krishna says that. Krishna is saying here like this. So when people look at it, my dear devotee, go very deep. By saying something flowery from my mouth. Look at Prabhupada's classes. Even Prabhupada came to Western world. If you are hearing Prabhupada classes, in every class, Prabhupada would left and right quotes verses and cite the verses. Please read listen to Prabhupada's classes. This verse, that verse. Krishna is saying here, Krishna is saying this, and all the verses Prabhupada will cite. Why? By hearing that from pure devotee, the words of Krishna is very, very important, very important. So that type of mind we want to develop. We don't want to be using our intelligence. Rather, we want to use the intelligence of our Acharya, Prabhupada's intelligence, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj intelligence, and just be the repeater. That's number one thing. That's why we have to do this. And you would see that even I do Bhagavatam classes, I bring anything that I say in context of verse. Why? First, you have to know where that verse is to say what you are saying. And number two, the hearer, whoever is hearing carefully, it will go deeper. It will purify more. Number two, point that I want to make is that before we adjourn, this knowledge is not gyan that Krishna has spoken in third and fourth and fifth, especially fourth and fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When we are talking about the ladder of bhakti, we are talking that there is sakam karma, then there is niskam karma, then niskam will go to gyan yoga, gyan to ashtanga yoga. So that gyan yoga that come after niskam, this is not that gyan yoga. Though the highest on the ladder is bhakti yoga, right? And in that bhakti yoga, Rupa Goswami has given 64 anga of bhakti. Out of that 64 anga, he has summarized 5 angas are principal anga. So now let me hear from you. What is the first anga? Chanting the name of Krishna, holy name. What is second?
Hearing.
Hearing. What is third?
Deity worship.
What is fourth?
Sadhu.
Shanga.
Sadhu Sangha.
And what means going to holy places?
Holy places. Yes.
And what is fifth one? One important one is missing. So speaking or hearing in association of a devotee, okay? So please remember these 5 things. I would like to request you, all of you, to remember 5 anga out of 64 anga. Rupa Goswami said very, very important, most potent anga. And A, B, C, D, E, like that we say. So from A, association of sadhu. Association of sadhu. Sunday feast, festivals or association planning and all of that. When you are there, see that as an association. This is the opportunity that I am associating. See that as a service. Be book, right?
Yes.
What is that book? Reading Bhakti Shastra. Cannot say that knowledge is not important. reading Bhakti Shastra. Prabhupada would get up in night at 1 o'clock at that age and write. Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Maharaj gave instruction to Prabhupada that one thing to preach in Western society and distribute my books. If you can, distribute the books. Why? This is Bhakti Shastra. This is not the Gyan Shastra. And then chanting comes, and then going to holy places and on other five anga comes. So reading books are very important anga of bhakti. So as a bhakta, we are following the anga of bhakti. That's what you do in sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana bhakti? In sadhana bhakti, sadhaka is engaged in the anga of bhakti. So we don't concoct. I can do like this, I can do like that. No, it's Bhakti Shastra. So this knowledge will remove our doubts. This knowledge will awaken our love for Krishna. So this is not something that's going to make us jnani. It's not going to, provoke us to leave house and go in the forest and in a secluded place, do meditation. That's not what here is. This knowledge is talking. This knowledge will say how to be like Parikshit Maharaj, so sincere for Krishna. That Mataji was asking what he did at the age of, retirement when he was cursed. He left everything. These are the example to invoke our unalloyed devotion to our Supreme Personality of Godhead. So take it that way. This knowledge is not just some ordinary gyan. This knowledge is needed. This knowledge will expedite your devotion, your mood. You would know how, Prabhu was saying, Ramsaran Prabhu, I want to apply this in my behavior. How will you apply that if you do not know that? Okay. So it's very, very important. Like chanting is very important. Studying Bhagavatam, Nitya Bhagavata Sevayam, we chant that verse, right? Before we read. So it's very important that we take shelter of Bhagavatam in that way, as a bhakti knowledge, not as the gyan. And if you take it as bhakti knowledge, knowing that this is one of the principal limb of the bhakti, then you will understand the importance of studying and giving classes also that's based on Shastra. Very, very important. Okay, I may sound like fool. Okay, I'm fool. I'm fool number one. But I'm just going to repeat the word. You will see that has more potency. Prabhupada's preaching had more potency. He came from India with heavy accent and made all of these Western people devotee. Why? Authenticity. Prabhupada stuck with what is given to him by his acharyas. So there could be some back and forth on this, but we are running a little late. But I just wanted to, emphasize these 2 points. We really appreciate your association. And we'll start next chapter, very, very important chapter. Now Dhritarashtra is going to retire. So Vidur Maharaj is going to give him some teachings. That chapter is going to be very philosophical chapter, very applicable chapter for us. So with that, I would like to adjourn here. Thank you so much. Sorry for going a little late. Vanchkalpantarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyayavascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय सिंबल भक्तविंद की जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल. Thank you. Dandot pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.